Hey GH peeps, welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things General Hospital. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. So what did y'all think about today's GH? It's pretty good, wasn't it? The Ava craziness, the Quartermain craziness. Well, it wasn't too crazy, but Lois got in Nettie Eddie's butt. And then Ava, woof. And you know, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Something needs to hurry him get back though. That's all I can say, because I don't know what he can do, but something needs to happen with Cyrus walking around making making errands. But anyway, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So we start off at the Quartermain mansion, and we got Mr. Nettie Eddie and Lois, and they talking about, Lois is like, "Hey, Liv's not around. You can tell me if you remember me or not." I thought that was a little weird. I don't know. What did y'all think about that part? It was a little weird to me. But she's basically saying, she's not around, so you can tell me I'm your, I was married to you. We had all this history, and then they show the beautiful flash of the Ned and Lois story, and how basically Eddie was impersonating. When Nettie was impersonating Eddie, Lois fell in love with Eddie. And she says, "I fell in love with a man that didn't exist." Nettie Eddie is married, or about to get married. Basically, he's married to Lois and another woman. It was all kind of crazy. And yeah. And she's just like, you can tell me if you remember any of this. And he's like, "No, I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't remember you." He said, "I have a great daughter, and I don't even remember her." And that's when Chase and Brooklyn walk in. So I thought that, her, and I don't know why she had to say, "Liv's not here. You could tell me if you remember me or not. You said you remember me." It's like, I just, have a memory of you, but not what you're thinking. And then we go over to Gregory and Tracy. And Gregory's like, Tracy was expecting Finn, and Gregory's like, "Oh, well, I'm here to settle a score." Don't worry, guys. He's not angry. And then we go to Josh and Avery, and Josh goes to the police station to see Dante, because we got to get help. Something's wrong with Ava. And then we go over to Dex and Spinelli, and they're on the phone, and Spinelli's asking Dex, "So did you find Ava?" Because now Dex is in the place where they were holding Ava at. And Carly visits Drew in the hospital. Still no daughter sightings, because I don't want to see my daughter. Drew is just, I don't like how they are writing him. He ain't been in Scout's life for forever, and he's not trying to be in her life. It just frustrates me. I gotta protect her. I don't want her to be worried. So not seeing you is gonna be better? Deadbeat. I'm sorry, Drew's a deadbeat. He's a great guy. I like him as an actor, but writing him as a straight deadbeat. And then we go over to Mr. Austin and Cyrus is making his rounds at the hospital, y'all. And he's like, Austin, is throwing his little balls around. "We got some unfinished business to do." You should have seen the cold eye that Cyrus gave him. And Joss lets Dante know that Ava's in trouble. And she's basically ran down everything that's happened since Ava disappeared. Since Pilar showed up at Joss's dorm room and told her what was going on. And Dante does ask, "Does anybody else know?" I think he asks Carly or Jake or Sonny knows. And she's like, "No, they were all, Sonny was going to get married. Mom's at the hospital with Drew." So we just try to see if we can do this, handle things ourselves, but we need your help. We need your help, Dante. And Dex gets to the building and he confirms there is no Ava. So then we get to the car, and Mr. Lollipop Man has drove Ava to the little Outlook. We're about to go down. And Ava's like, "You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this." And Lollipop was just he was just loving this. He's like, "Oh, but I do. And like I said, Josh tells Dante every single thing that's going down. Dante's on the mission now. He's about to figure out what's going on. And then we get back to Dex and Spinelli, and they're on the phone. And Spinelli's like, Dex is like, well, are you sure this is the only property? And Spinelli's like, yeah, you visited all the other ones. And Dex confirms that Ava was here. He finds something on the floor that lets him know that Ava was there. And he tells Spinelli they need to track the car. So then we go back to Lollipop and Ava. And she's trying her darndest, her damn best to get out of this situation. And she lets him know, Sonny is going to find out if you do something to me. Meat hook time, bitch. Meat hook time. Meat hook time. She can't stand Sonny any other time of the day. But she don't have a problem with throwing his name around. And she's like, well, Sonny finds out, it's over for you. And Mason's like, whatever. I ain't falling for it this time. You rah. I'm waiting on orders. And he just turns his head back around. And then we go back over to the hospital. And Cyrus and Austin are talking. And Cyrus thanks him for his help, for getting him out because of his health. Push it. And Austin asks him, are you going to release Ava now? Austin. I don't like how they're playing him. Roger Hopworth should have a lot more. He's a doctor. Come on. And then, they took him from the Quartermain story to this story. So then we go to the hospital, and Carly's, like I said, she's visiting Drew, and Drew let her know that the doctor cleared him to go back to Pentonville. And Carly freaks out. Are you effing serious? You can get killed again. You're not ready to go. And Drew's like, you need to just relax. We can't do anything about it. I don't want you bothering the doctor. He's only doing what he's supposed to be doing. Carly ain't trying to hear that. You know how Carly is, guys. When she gets a plan, she gets a plan. It ain't always good. Too bad we ain't got Jason here to stop her and her plans, but whatever. And we go back to the Eddie and the Lois and Brooklyn and Chase. And it's Meet My Mother Day. And they're basically, Chase is letting her know how they met and how they fall in love. And she's like, oh, so Brooklyn's heart led you to her, to Chase. Brooklyn's heart led her to you. And Eddie's like, is that how it happened with us? And then we flash over to Gregory and Tracy. And Tracy's like, all right, let me have it. Let me have it. And Gregory's like, no, thank you. Tracy's like, what? She wasn't expecting that. He's like, yeah, I'm upset, but I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I was living in denial. I should have told my sons this a long time ago. And Tracy's like, starts laughing. She's like, well, I was thinking that you was going to be angry. And Gregory's like, who has time to be angry all the time? That's just a waste of energy. Tracy, however, revels in anger. She loves it. It's like her sword. It gives her strength. And she lets Gregory know it's her superpower. And then we flash over to Eddie and Lois and the kids. And Lois lets them know that their relationship was very, very complicated. Remember, Eddie was married. Either he was married after he got married to her or he was married before her. But yeah, it was complicated. Plus, he was impersonating another person. So yes, it was very complicated. In fact, he was impersonating being Eddie. Isn't that funny? He was impersonating being Eddie then, and he was actually Ned. And now he really thinks he's Eddie. Go figure. I'm tired of this storyline, by the way, yeah. So, we flash on over back to Mason. And now Mason's getting real tired of Ava's talking and asking to get out and little threats. And he's like, he basically says, when I pulled your car when you first met me. And you looked at me like I was nothing but white trash. He called her a phony and told her to shut the hell up. Oh, and he also said something about her banging nasties with Austin. He was throwing out shade. I'm going to miss Mason because he was throwing out straight shade at Ava. And now we got Dante's on the mission. He's heading out of the Metro Police. He's on his way to see what's going on. And then we flash back over to Cyrus and Austin. And Austin's letting him know that Ava is not a threat and you should let her go. I've done everything you've asked. So Cyrus walks away and makes a call to Mason. And he says, take her home. And Mason's like, what? But boss, he says, it's been resolved. Take her home. Then we flash back over to the Lois story, and she's still telling them about how they got together and how it was very hurtful and how she fell in love with a non-existent person. And Nettie Eddie actually apologizes to her. He says he's sorry for how he treated her. Big. Even though he's kind of treating Olivia like that now, but he doesn't remember, so whatever. And then we go back over to Tracy and Gregory, and he's talking about the ALS and how he's getting weaker and how he can't drive and how he'll have to use a cane eventually. This is a sad story. And they both have a drink. And Tracy lets him know that she's relieved that he came by. And Gregory offers to fill in for Finn, because that's who she was expecting to play backgammon, was Finn. But Violet's sick. But Gregory offers to fill in with Finn, and she's like, oh, I would not want to do that to you. And he lets her know, who do you think taught my son how to play backgammon? And then commences to whooping her ass viciously in the game. I think he was like 10 up. It was awesome. I like Tracy and Gregory. It would have been nice to see a Tracy, Gregory, and Alexis scene, to see how that's going to pan out. It's kind of sucky that this man is dying. He's a great actor. I don't know why. It's just, yeah. And then we go to Carly, and she's still with Drew. And Carly admits fault. She says that you should not be in jail. This is all my doing. And Drew said, look, the judge was coming after me. He was being petty, basically. Throwing out this obsessive scene. I don't want you in jail. And guys, I just was replaying some old General Hospital. Not too old, but just, recent old. And I remember when this was all going down, and the reason why they were going after Carly was because of Sonny. The FBI wanted information on Sonny, and Carly refused to give that up. She refused to turn him in. And she says no. Carly was willing to go to jail behind this. When Sonny found out, he was like, no. No, you tell him whatever you need to tell him. Don't go to jail behind me. And that's when Drew jumped in and did whatever he did and whatnot, because Carly still refused to tell on Sonny. So that just brings me back to this whole entire thing of the SEC and Nina making this phone call and stuff like that. And Sonny's not going to be happy about this, especially if he was willing to put himself in front of the bullets for Carly, so Carly wouldn't go to jail. Even though Carly did this foolishness, but if you know Carly, she is the queen of bad plans. It's just what it is. And I'm going to leave it alone because that just needs to wrap up quick. And then we go over back to Josh and Avery, and Josh is being an excellent big sister. I just really love these scenes, what she does with the girls. And Avery mentioned something about Daddy going to get married. And Josh was like, yeah, I know. But I promise you, when your daddy would never have left you on purpose. He would never. And I know for sure that he wanted you there. And I'm going to make sure that Nina and your dad take you somewhere really great when they get back. Now, Josh, you didn't have to add that part, but I'm going to make sure. But that's Carly and her, so whatever. Basically, she puts Avery at rest, and now Avery's got a big smile on her face. Because we got to remember, y'all, her mama's missing. She don't know that, but her mama missing. Her daddy ain't there. So then we file back on over to Mason's crazy ass. And Lollipop is like, to hell with the boss. I'm going to do what I want to do. And drags Ava to the cliff. While Ava's screaming, you don't got to do this. You ain't got to do this. Spinelli calls Josh, and he's like, where's Dex? I can't get him on the phone. Josh is like, what? What do you mean you can't get him on the phone? Spinelli's like, I told him the county road that the car was parked in, and now he's not answering. Josh is like, what? Oh my God, you can't, we'll keep trying to get in touch with him. I'm about to call somebody else. Guess who she calls? Big Bro Dante. You know what, Josh? Good thinking, girl. Good thinking. So, we got Mason, Lollipop Man, getting closer to the cliff, and Dex shows up, gun pulled. I didn't want to leave the scene. I was like, why we gotta go back to Lois and Nettie Eddie and all that goofiness? But we're back at the Quartermaine Mansion. And they're asking how did they met. Chase and Brooke are asking, well, not Brooke. Brooke knows, but Chase is asking how did the love story start and all that stuff. And then Lois does not accept Nettie Eddie's apology. She says, I don't know how many Eddie Mains is in there. And then she says, but I pity you. I pity the fool. I pity the fool. She didn't say that, but she said, I pity you. And he told her straight face, I don't need your pity. I am happy who I am. And he walks off. It got heated, y'all. It got heated. And then we go back to Cyrus. And making his rounds. Now he didn't walk his crazy ass into Drew's room. The audacity. The fucking audacity of this man. And Drew and Carly like, what the hell are you doing out? When Carly says that. Drew's looking like, what the fuck? And Carly's throwing straight shade. I love Carly and her shade. Carly has enough shade where she should have acres of trees in the back of her house, because she was throwing nothing but shade at Cyrus. She wasn't trying to hear none of his excuses, none of his apologies, none of that shit. But this man threatened to kill her and her family, unalive her children, and you bring your ass to the hospital room? And then he says, well, I just wanted to check on Drew. You the reason why he's in there. Now, bear in mind, Drew's about as dumb as a bag of nickels, and he's a Navy SEAL, so that's kind of just disarming. But they're writing him to be that way. They're writing him to be that way. I'm just going to put that there. But you the reason why this man's in this place, and I just wanted to come see my friend. And then he tells Carly, and I really wanted to come see you. You're just going to add insult to injury. See, Sonny, if you weren't off being all goofy and shit, and you were on your stuff, this wouldn't be happening. I just wish that Jason was back. And before people get mad, Jason's never coming back. A lot of this would not be happening if J-Dog, Stone Cold, was in the building. A lot of this would not be happening. Okay? It's mind-numbing how cocky and arrogant Cyrus is, just walking around talking crazy. But let's go back to the cliff, right? Because now it's about to get crazy. Because we got Mason with the gun, we got Dex with the gun, and Ava in the middle. And Mason shoots. Dex ducks. And now it's a tussle, baby. Now it's a tussle. And then we go back to Gregory and Tracy. Oh, man, I just wanted to stay on the Dex scene. Come on, let's make it happen. But we go back to Gregory and Tracy, and like I said, he whoops her butt. And Tracy's, apologizes for him having ALS. And then they have a peck. And then Gregory runs off. So does Gregory might have some feelings for Tracy? You think so? And that's why he ran? Because he ran out there like she put lice in his plate or something. Like she had lice on him, threw some roaches at him or something. He was like, oh, we gotta go. But Tracy did get him a ride home, which was sweet with her. She got a ride home with Yuri. But now let's go back to the fight scene. So now they're fighting, and Dante, he shows up and puts two pop in the back of Mason. It was going down, baby. Pop in the back of Mason. And then we go back to the hospital, and Cyrus is, I understand why you're upset with me, Carly, and I want you to know that the beef is over. The beef is over? The beef is over? Bro, you went after this woman's kids. The beef has just begun. Now, y'all can say what y'all want about Carly. That's the one thing you don't mess with is the children. She's about to go all fours. I hope and this is why I wish Jason was there to kind of like, okay, Carly, let's wait till Sonny gets back. Because Carly will try to kill Cyrus herself. Because the beef ain't over. And she's like, don't hold your breath. Chop, chop. Meat hook time for Cyrus. No, I'm just joking. Might be, though. And then he says, y'all should thank me for him being alive. And Drew's like, what are you talking about? Well, I was the one who helped you. I bet you did after you helped him get his ass beat. Oh my God, Cyrus girl. Guys, Cyrus had jokes today. And then we flash back over to the Quartermain mansion. And now we have Nettie and Tracy. And Nettie lets Tracy know that Lois is driving him insane. And Tracy says, well, she has a way with doing that. And she sees that her son is frustrated. And she could tell he's like pacing. He's in the corner. And she's like, well, so she says, so what's up? He says, well, I come in here because music helps me. Helps me to let go of my anger, my angst. Because everybody wants me to be somebody that I'm not, and it's driving me crazy. Because if I could be different, if I could go back, I would. I don't want to do this. I'm tired of it. Tracy feels her son, and instead of arguing with him, instead of arguing with him, she feels her son, and she leaves and lets him to his music. Okay, Tracy, that's a hand clap for Tracy, because that was big on her. Maybe Gregory's making some changes in her. Who knows? And then we go on over to we're just gonna wrap the Chase story up with Brooklyn. So basically, Tracy tells Lois that she should be happy that she's the one who actually hooked Chase and Brooke up. And she's like, what? By blackmailing her? This is going to be interesting for Wednesday's episode. But when soon as Brooklyn seen Tracy walk in there, her and Chase took off. She wasn't about to try to deal with her granny. Not today, granny. And then we go back to Carly and Drew, and she's talking about how the system is a joke. It is, Carly. It's funny that now y'all see that. Anyway, because they're saying that because Cyrus is out due to his health, but Drew, who's a Navy SEAL and saved people's lives, is going back to jail after he got his ass handed to him. But Joss calls her mom and says, get your butt home ASAP. ASAP, Mom. Trouble, trouble, trouble. And then we fly back to the cliff. Dex is checking on Ava to make sure she's okay. Dante is like, Perk is still alive, but unconscious. Who thinks that Lollipop about to become unalived in the hospital room? Poison. Who knows? Cyrus ain't gonna let that loose screw around. But Dante asks why Ava was here and what happened, and then we close out the story for today. Oh no, we don't. It ends with Gatlin Hope cornering Cyrus in the elevator again and letting him know we need to talk about Ava, and Cyrus letting him know that he's the boss and he needs to put his little self on somewhere before he get fucked up. Well, he don't say it like that. But he lets him know he's the boss and he ain't got time to be answering questions for you. Austin ain't got no power. Now, if this was Roger, and this is Todd, or who's that other person he played, Franco, I'm pretty sure he'd be giving Cyrus a run for his money. But he a boy from Pawtucket, so we'll have to see. And I'm starting to wonder what is the real connection between him and Cyrus. Because we were all thinking that was father and son, but it ain't seen to father and sonly. Anywho, thank you for hanging out with me today, guys. It has been a pleasure talking about our favorite soap today. Please like and subscribe. Comment. Come on, guys. Talk to me. Tell me what you think about what's going on. And we'll touch base tomorrow. Have an amazing night, guys.